Now, the Ijaw Youth Council says that it will hold the military responsible if anything happens to elder statesman Edwin Clark. Clark's country home in Niger Delta state was invaded by the military last week. The Ijaw Youth Council described the invasion as an insult to the Ijaw people and Clark's personality. It happened over allegations of harboring one of the suspects involved in the killing of military personnel in Delta State. Now let's bring in the Organizing Secretary of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum in Delta State, Obiuwevbi Ominimini. Good to see you and thanks for your time. Now this conversation started off yesterday. First, it was a conversation which Papa Clark, he spoke to us live on Newsnight, where he called for peace, called for calm, but there seemed to be a twist listening to him yesterday. First, how is this being handled by the Pan-Niger group when the elder statesman alerted the nation of what may have transpired in his country home?
Thank you very much. Thank you for bringing me on board. I am the Organizing Secretary of Pan-Niger Delta State, as you have introduced. We, the people of Niger Delta, believe in peace. And our father, Chief Edwin Clark, is the leader, indisputable leader of the entire people of Niger Delta. His leadership cuts across all ethnic nationalities in Niger Delta. And of course, you also know, he is the leader of Southern Nigeria and Middle Belt Forum. Southern Nigeria made up of Pandef, made up of Afenifere, and Ohaneze Ndigbo. And you know, Niger Delta provides the main money that makes this country to be called Nigeria today. Niger Delta produces over 90% of the money that runs this country. So the people of Niger Delta are peaceful people. It is on this basis that there is free flow of the oil for many years to date, in spite of the degradation and the maltreatment of the people of Niger Delta. Without being told, you know that the oil exploitation and exploration in Niger Delta today is very peaceful. And Chief Clark contributes a lot to the free flow of the oil. You could agree with me. Some years back, when the oil was falling, it was Chief Clark that brought all the leaders together to make sure there is peace. And today, the oil has risen. We produce over 2,000 barrels per day.
And with the killing of our soldiers in the peaceful Niger Delta, as you highlighted, doesn't that indicate that some elements around the Niger Delta are trying to break that peace?
It is not true. As we speak today, there is free flow of the oil. The entire people of Niger Delta commiserate with the army. Chief Clark had also issued a statement commiserating with the Nigerian army. In fact, what people of Niger Delta are saying, the army should go specifically to get the culprits, to get these people to book.
And sorry to cut you, I'll let you land. What if the army has intelligence that truly one of the troublemakers, because Papa Clark is here in Abuja, he's not home. So what if one of the people is actually seeking refuge in his home without him knowing? What stops Papa Clark or your people from allowing the military go around and be sure that no one of such is there?
Okay, thank you. Give me a space. Number one, like I told you, Chief Clark is responsible for the peace today we have in Niger Delta. It's not just today. During the administration of President Yar'Adua, Chief Clark played a notable role through which the amnesty is granted to the militants in Niger Delta. And Chief Clark doesn't know people from Okwama, despite that he's leader over everybody. we understand how trackers work. If that tracker is actually truth, then somebody should have been found in the home of Chief Clerk. In fact, from what we think, is just a mere human calculation that Chief Clerk is the overall leader of the people. Some of the people who committed this crime could think that his house is a safe haven. Therefore, let us go there. But attack on Chief Clerk is an attack on the entire people of Niger Delta. As it is today, not just Ole Injo, the Urhobos, the Jos, the Isoko, the Shekiri, everybody is not happy over this sudden evasion of Chief Clerk's house. In fact, you could see people like Matama Sule of blessed memory. These are the contemporaries of Chief Clerk. Late General Monitola Mohammed, these were contemporary of Chief Clerk. Our former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, these were people who sat in cabinet with Chief Clerk. We have...
with due respect, a lot of people love Papa Clerk. And that is why some people don't even say Chief Clerk, they say Papa Clerk. And for the love they have for him, has PANDEF tried to work with the military to see? Because truly, if you're away from your home, you may not know what is happening in your house. With due respect to the revered chief, has PANDEF contacted the authorities to see how they can truly together find the culprit, even if he's around the vicinity of Papa Clerk's home? It
is not true. Let me give you one analogy.
No, I just asked a question. I'm not affirming. So
if I give you a wife in Nigeria.
You want to give me a wife?
If I give you a wife in Nigeria and I'm your in-law and you live in London, it is your responsibility to know what happens to your wife in Nigeria. Because you live in London as your in-law, I cannot ask you how is your wife. That Chief Clerk is in Abuja, the house is not empty. The house is occupied by members of the family. There is no intruder in that premises. So that analogy is wrong. The house is occupied by people. The family Chief Clerk comes from is a large family, the Becker-Derimo family of Kiagbodo. So the house is occupied. And for the military to smash his door, break all the doors, enter his house for a search of somebody that can never be there. We all know what Papa Clerk stands for. Papa Clerk stands for equity, justice, and equality. What Chief Clerk stands for is that nobody should be treated as a second class in Nigeria. That is what it stands for. We, the people of Niger Delta, we are not saying that the oil should be used by us alone. We are saying as Nigeria, explore the oil in our area. Don't degrade the environment as you have done. Don't destroy the ecosystem as you have done. So, but Chief Clerk has commiserated with the army. We, the people of Niger Delta, are mourning over the deaths of those gallant soldiers. But again, we want to advise the Nigerian army. They must work within the confines of the law. The law that establishes the Nigerian army is a Nigerian law. And that law is also subject to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The people of Okwama, right to life is also guaranteed by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Assuming, I'm not saying that is the true position, assuming some elements who committed this crime are even from Okwama, does it mean that everybody from Okwama is a criminal? The answer is no. Today, Okwama cannot be assessed. And we don't know the number of casualties, children, mothers, fathers from Okwama. And that shouldn't be the positions of things. We do not like the way this army were murdered because we're not in war. So we stand firm with the Nigerian army, but also the right to life of the people of Okwama should also be guaranteed.
I would love us to stay on one. We're closing, so that no, because you've spoken about the degradation, which no one likes. You've spoken quite a lot about everything. What's PANDEF doing concerning the imbroglio at the moment? This killing, which you have also condemned, what is PANDEF doing to see that these killers, perhaps they're not members of that community, are fished out, and that peace, which you spoke about with a smile on your face, is returned?
Thank you very much. Number one, PANDEF is calling for commission, an independent commission of inquiry from the federal government, to include the state government, to include the Nigerian army, to include sister communities, and to include the local government, to fish out those perpetrators. Number two, who invited the army? The person who invited the army has much to say, and that person will give a pointer as to the investigation. Somebody give distress call to the army. That person also needs to be questioned. Number three, we are saying the army should look inward, look into their operations, what to do and what not to do. In fact, it is because certain agents of governments are failing. Otherwise, we all know the function of the Nigerian army. In fact, I even feel for members of the Nigerian army because they have overstressed their responsibility. They are trying, and that is why the death of this army is very painful to everybody. Number four,
and lastly,
we want to say at this moment that the Nigerian army as a body needs to apologize to Chief Clark, a man of 97 years who has contributed to this country. He played a significant role for the reintegration of the people of this country after the Civil War. Today, in Queen's College, Enugu, a house is named after him. And in fact, even the presidency should apologize to Chief Clark, because that evasion of Chief Clark is an evasion of the entire people of Niger Delta. We are not happy, but we want to say the Nigerian army should work within the confines of their law, and also allow Okwama people to return to their community and live their normal life. Government should also find out the number of children, women, innocent people that have died as a result of the reprisal attack, so that it should not lead to humanitarian crisis.
And I think that's the place to anchor it for tonight. Obiuwevbi, Ominimini, many thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for bringing me on board.